This world is governed by principles. There are rules governing this earth, and this rule governs every soul, no matter who you are. So whenever you break it, expect karma in one way or the other. You see, there is this quote that says, "He who comes to justice must come with, clean hands," something like that. It tries to tell you that each time you want to come and seek for justice, make sure that your own hands are clean. People often seek for karma, expect karma to strike one or two persons, but because they are not seeing it work that way, some of them give up to believe that karma exists. But they are not actually, or should I say, they are pretending from not telling themselves that maybe they themselves, their hands are not clean while they are expecting karma to strike someone. You might steal a pen from someone. After 1 or 2 years, another will steal a book from you. You might steal a book. After 1 or 2 years, another will steal maybe a phone from you. Yes. And when somebody sees you shouting for karma, they think that your hands are clean. I know that statement very well. I understand it. Say you must come with a clean hand. A clean hand. Yes. You see, people try to use this general statement of no one is perfect to cover their ill behaviors. I remember a time I went for, then I was still a Christian. I went for an interview for a church position. And then as I was watching, while they were interviewing others, you have to stay in a distance. So, but while I was watching and listening, I saw when each person that went, they asked him, "So what is that sin you have committed of recently, or that you are used to, or this or that?" Each person kept saying one or two things. And where I am, I was wondering, these people do this, and they're still in church. Then when it got to my time, they asked other things, and then I started. So what are the sins you have been committing, or the ones you have just committed, or the ones you are used to committing? Each of the questions they asked, I said, "No, there is none." They turned the question like this. I said, "There is none." They turned it around. I said, "There is nothing I have done. There is no one that I am used to. I don't used to do that, or do. There is no one you are thinking in your mind that I do." And all of them draw their seats back and say, "What do you mean? Are you trying to say you are a saint? Are you trying?" At the end of the day, you aren't expecting me to say what I don't do. You don't expect me to vomit what I don't do. To the extent of asking me the last lie, I lied. And I said, I don't lie. I don't lie. Except maybe there was something I said with my own knowledge, but thinking it was like this, not knowing it wasn't like that. But from my own knowledge, I said what I saw. But if there was anything like, I know this, but I said another thing with my knowledge, no. So after they wondered and they kind of wanted to bring issue, I got one summary in my head, and that summary is that these people has been fooling around. They mess up. They do a lot of evil. So they believe that when we gather like this, everybody will vomit each one they have said before they will give you a position. And that's how they said things like, God chooses the unfaithful, unprepared to make him prepared. They use a lot of slangs to cover evils they do. And unfortunately, I wasn't in that category. I didn't experience such. That is how I saw myself, and that is how I also principled myself. Because I noticed that one of the simple things that these people don't principle themselves. People don't principle themselves. They don't guide themselves. They freely do things and then come back and claim that nobody is perfect, bro. When you fool around finish, you come around and tell me nobody is perfect. Karma is existing. If you haven't experienced it, or if you think that you have not, if you think you have not been experiencing it, you have never met it, you have never seen it act, therefore it doesn't exist. Just check the way you are living your life. Check deeply the way you're living your life before you start expecting karma. When people tell me this karma doesn't exist, I try to use myself, my own self, to relate. Bro, I sat one day listing out karmas that I have seen. I mean, people who have done one thing or the other to me that, bro, if you see what happened to these people, and I'm like, oh, I thought people say karma don't exist. So probably maybe that is the way you have been living your life, and you are also expecting karma, pretending, then making other people to feel that karma doesn't exist. Meanwhile, your life is not straightforward. You cheat, and then tomorrow somebody hurts you. It's not as if you even went to redress to make restitution of your past. No. You see people move around, they say things like, please, if I've done anything wrong with you, knowingly or unknowingly, consciously, unconsciously, please forgive me. We are humans. What are you doing? Is that a public statement? Who did you offend? Go to that person. Go to that person. Go to that person and make restitution. Stop coming to the public and writing, if I have offended you. That's pride. And you know you have offended somebody before you came out to make that statement. But pride, to say I'm sorry, it's keeping you down. You rather prefer to come spend your data, spend your time, and appear publicly and speak things. Then those that you have offended should not come and like your statement, right? Insincerity on top of evil. Insincerity on top of your existing evil. What stops you from stepping close and say, I'm sorry to those people you hurt? Explain it in detail. I understand what I did. Maybe I don't like it, but this was what pushed me to do it. It was selfishness that pushed me to do this. But I'm sorry. I won't do it again. I feel what I have done. But no, you come out to the public. If I have, especially during December time, when you're about to enter the new year, you start seeing people making those statements. Very funny, insincere people. That's why they start afresh where they stopped. They start afresh where they stopped to commit the same evil because they never gone to apologize. Because when you know what it takes you to sincerely apologize, that pride, if you're able to bring it down, you will know that you wouldn't like to bring it down again and all the time and all the time. So you'll be careful. But because you didn't even attempt to do it, you didn't bring it down, you hanged it somewhere. So definitely, you can always pick it from where you hanged it and continue. Bro, karma exists. Karma exists. A set of young men, I really don't want to mention their names, but maybe somehow, someday, they come across this video. They will know I'm talking about them. This was in a church setting. A set of young men gathered together like a coup to remove me from the position in a church. And they did this with extreme meanness. They were very mean. To the extent that the deacons of the church, that's the church leaders called me one after the other, up to 5 persons, and asked me, what did you do to these people? Do you know that these people want to take away your life? What exactly did you do to them? Because I know you. I know you very well. But what exactly? And I tell them that the way you are seeing me, that's all. I didn't do anything. But because they feel intimidated of how I handled the same position they handled, but couldn't do well or couldn't, drive the group to a higher standard, that is why they feel I expose their weakness. Even before I finish this statement, they already said, yes, I know, I understand this, but would this take these people to this extent? Another called me and said, I will advise you to step down of this position. These people want to take away your life. Another invited me. Like 5 different guys invited me to hands off from the position. Well, at the same time, the group who somehow supports these people came back through the back to tell me that they cannot vote these people. That even if they know that they have hurt me, that there's no other person that will occupy the position. So let me not even try to say no, that I must take that position. Well, I wasn't interested in this position, but because of my passion for what I was doing, I was like, well, as long as you people will vote and stand and not repeat what you have done, me, I'm willing to exhibit my talents. I was very happy to exhibit my talents. So after a while, when they saw that it didn't end there, I didn't give up. They went ahead and met the pastor and lied to the pastor. After a period of time, the lie was exposed, and they asked them to come and apologize. They grudgingly did that, which to me too, I was aware. I just said, okay, I hear. But this pastor, who was aware, an elderly man, you heard, you saw the kind of lie these people were able to lie. They repeated it again to you, and this time you didn't remember the first time. You went ahead and accepted the lie, and without verification, without due, consultation to check, did this really happen? Did it exist? Or was it not the same kind of thing they wanted to do? Was it repackaged? He didn't do that. He went straight and accepted what they did and came out publicly in the church and gave their secretary to announce in the church that I am hereby dethroned from that position. And they spoke a lot of evil. A lot of evil they spoke because it was like a cartel. There were many that really wanted me down. So it was like an opportunity. So both the church secretary and all the way they positioned themselves, he was happy to make such announcements. So he used choosing words he wanted. And after a while, even the pastor himself, who knows me very well in character, because they all know me, he didn't mind. He came out and they asked the congregation to stretch forth their hand against me. And you know what? When they asked this congregation to stretch forth their hands towards this direction, to pray against anybody who want to rise against this new leader in this position, this congregation didn't know that they directed them to stretch forth their hand where I was sitting. But they did. You see, church, whatever the pastor just said them to do, they do.